Oh shit.
What's up, homies? Welcome back to the Thornwyld Field Report. If this is your first time here, welcome to Thornwyld. This is where I talk about local bands, drop footage of their sets, and release my own music. The point of this series is simple. It's to help you discover local bands and to help me remember how I feel about who I see. Remember, these are just my opinions. Cool? Cool. This one was for the SPOSM show on January the 17th. It was a free show and also a very chilly one. Like I said, this is at the skate park of San Marcos, also known as SPOSM. And this now makes the second show in the past couple months out there. I covered the last one too, which was put on by Giggity Booking. That was a good one too. This show, like a lot of the shows I've been at lately, was put on by Obsidian Frequency, who is starting to build a real reputation as a communicative, community-oriented booker. If you're in a local band, it never hurts to reach out, get yourself known to him. That way he can have your contact info for future dates. Also, this was Thornwyld's hot dog debut. My partner, who you can follow at Beck from Heck, and I showed up and cooked up dogs. And I'm telling you, they were a total crowd pleaser. So in between moshing and filming, I was slinging dogs for the people. She had this amazing idea of doing a band-themed dog menu, and she absolutely killed it on the grill. Check out this badass menu by the Glistrous. We're cooking fucking dogs up.
Cooking dogs.
We're cooking dogs.
Slinging dogs.
So when I showed up and started setting up the table, the skate park was already kind of bubbling with excited energy and shit was already about to kick off. The bands on the bill in order were Bad News, Fall of Eldar, Cuerno, Mousch, and N.I.X. And to be honest, everybody sounded awesome. There are not going to be any low scores here today. Sorry. Let's get into the bands. First band, Bad News, was already about to start whenever I rolled up, and thankfully I did not miss any of their set because I loved the way they sounded. They've got this dope beat down hardcore sound, and it's the kind of set that immediately made me go, I'm about to get violent in a healthy way. There were these guitar solos in there that just made me go, oh. And their stage presence was commanding as hell, too. The vocals were mostly in this kind of hardcore yelling style, but there was kind of some range to them, too, which kept things interesting. I just have to reference this fucking meme because goddamn is it fucking true. After the set, I talked to them, and they were genuinely, like, super chill and down to earth. And they really loved the fuck out of their custom dog, the Bad Dog, which just made me fucking crack up. More than happy. They described themselves as an Australian-Texas hardcore fusion band. Fast and aggressive. They said if you like Pain of Truth, Hate Breed, Drain, those kind of bands, you'll like them for sure. They actually have a lot coming up right now, too. They're going to be playing the Montopolis Bridge on January 31st. I will be at that show as well. There's going to be a tunnel show on the 7th that we'll be playing. I'll be at that as well. They're playing Noiseland on the 27th of February, and they're even looking at building a bill for an unofficial show during South by Southwest in March. They also have a 3-song EP on the way called Step to Me. They're currently in the process of recording it with a music video coming out shortly after. They're aiming for a March and April release. Polish it up and do it right, because it's going to hit. Their music made me want to beat ass, and their vibe made me feel like a friend. Excellent band with a bright future. Get these motherfuckers in the studio immediately. I'm going to give them a 9 out of 10. After they played, it was time for Fall of Eldar. In full transparency, things had started picking up on the hot dog side of my reality at that moment, so for part of their set, my attention was a little split. But I filmed and moshed a little bit for every band that played. I tried to give everyone a little bit of two-step action. Instrumentally, I think this was the strongest performance I've seen from Fall of Eldar yet. You can tell they've specifically started trying to lock in on their breakdowns more, and you can feel it in the impact. It hit harder, it landed better, and it sounded more dialed in. Frank told me again his voice went out halfway through, and whenever he says this, I'm just like, you're good, bro. Nobody notices. They still ripped so hard. I got down in that pit and crossed over, and a lot of people after their set was saying that they loved them and were a great discovery for them. So great performance. I look forward to the day that Hugo, the drummer, gets a badass hybrid kit. That is going to fucking slap so hard. We know a little bit about Fall of Eldar. They have this crazy sound of blazingly fast tech deathcore mixed with beatdown riffs and cosmic horror. After their last show in February, they're going to take some time off to practice and record a single and an album before they book some more shows later this year. They sounded excellent, and I always appreciate the volume of effort they put into making things happen and bringing things together. I'm going to give them an 8 out of 10 here. Next up was Cuerno. I saw them once before at Hardcore Halloween. Crazy fucking show. And they did not disappoint here at all. After the show, they even left their own field report on the Fall of Eldar, one of my special dogs on the menu, and gave it a 1 quadrillion out of 10, which is a fucking awesome rating.
Hello guys, this is the Fall of Eldar by Thornwyld, and we are doing a field report.
Okay, wait, first impressions. Looks yummy. Okay, shut up. Delectable. Delicious. Yes. Delicious. Delicious block.
Like this post if you want to see the Quern dog
Yeah.
by Thornwyld.
Yeah, corn dog. I rate it a 4 million out of 2.
I rate it a 1 quadrillion out of 10.
What?
Hell fucking yeah, man. Cuerno has this sick hardcore energy, and their chugs are absolutely violent. I also love how the guitarist and the singer switch roles at times. It makes for great photography, and the sound swap still hits hard every time.
Let me see your two-step.
San Marcos always rallies around them too. They've got this awesome local aura where it feels like everybody wants them to win. They told me they weren't sure how they would describe their sound or who they would be for fans of, but they do have an EP on the way, and they've got some shows lined up in Austin and Houston. January 30th, they're playing Valhalla in Austin, and February 7th, they will be playing the Austin Tunnels. I will be at that show, and I should be running some more hot dogs. Cuerno put on a badass set and got the good people of San Marcos to smack each other. Altogether, I'm going to give them a 9 out of 10. Next band up was Mousch, and I had never heard of them before, although I really feel like I should have. To be honest, they kind of blew me away. They have this incredible young spirit to them, pure energy, great synergy, and this almost comedic level of chaos sometimes. The screamer in the onesie was fucking insane. The guitarist was writhing around on the ground like a possessed animal. They riff hard as hell, and the whole set just felt alive. And did you guys really fucking reference No Need for Introductions? I read about Girls Like You on the backs of toilet doors. You fucking legends. I love that album, and I am so happy that it's still getting recognition. They had a few covers. They covered Roots by Sepultura and Ravenous Ravenous Rhinos by I Set My Friends on Fire, which is a fucking awesome song. They describe themselves as a new metal band with some hardcore influence. And they said their music is for fans of Cats, Nice Groves, and people who love fat breakdowns. I love fat breakdowns, which is objectively hilarious and also very true. They've got a single coming up in the next month or so, and hopefully a full-length album soon after. They've also got that February 7th Austin Tunnel show coming up that I said I will be at. That'll be their first Austin show since 2021, so they're hyped to be back. Also, a big old shout out to their cat Mousch, who they say is a huge part of the band's image and the reason the band exists. And that is so goddamn wholesome. I love that. I gotta do a quick shout out real quick myself. This is Scamp. You got anything you want to say? Anything you want to tell the people? They have an infectiously crazy energy, and I only know they're going to get more chaotic from here. I'm going to give them an 8 out of 10 for this performance. Last band of the night was N.I.X. N.I.X. also played the last SPOSM show that I went to, which was a total banger as well. By this point, it had gotten cold as shit, and people had started kind of filtering out, but the true believers still remained. And their only source of warmth? A fucking hard two-step. N.I.X was great as always with their signature sonic barrage. And they played a bunch of bangers, including my personal favorite, Bats and Rats. Shout out to their singer Joey for letting me borrow a lighter to get the pit started for the hot dogs. I would have been totally fucked without that, so thank you so much, my man. I did return it eventually. They describe their sound as hardcore crossover and said their music is for fans of hardcore, punk, and thrash. They've got an album coming out this year, new merch, some touring, and some shows coming up. On February 5th, they're going to be playing an Austin show down at Chess Club. And then on the next Friday, the 13th, they are going to be playing a show in Shreveport, Louisiana at Ghost Fire Tattoo. They want to shout out all the bands that have ever asked them to play shows and vice versa. Oh, they're also looking for a bass player if anyone's interested. So send them a DM if you think you can keep up with that. They soldiered on through the cold and gave the real ones what they came for. Only the most dedicated were left for their set, which suits them. I'm going to give them an 8 out of 10 for this evening. Not a lot of variation to the scores today. What can I say? Everybody did fucking awesome. Huge thanks to everyone for coming out, moshing, supporting the band, supporting me, and keeping the skate park a sick ass spot. Thanks to everyone who got a hot dog, followed me on Instagram, and tipped us. You're the reason I can keep showing up and doing shit like this. Thanks again to Frank and Fall of Eldar for providing the generator, the PA, the lights, trash bags for keeping everything contained, extension cords, and also shout out to N.I.X for providing some drum shells for Mousch to use. Homie move. I also want to give a huge shout out to Vorhees JPEGs for coming through and photographing the event. Much appreciated. He got this beautiful picture of me and my partner. Thank you so much again. We kept the skate park mean and clean, and it was one for the books. Later this month, the 31st, the next show we're going to have is going to be at Montopolis Bridge. Now, this is going to be fucking awesome. Here's a clip from the last one. It's going to be insane. I hope to see everyone there busting down. I've said it before, and I will say it again. If you say there's no more good heavy music, then you're just not listening. Thanks for watching all the way to the very end. I'll dump the extra clips on the Thornwyld YouTube channel, which you should check out and subscribe to. And while you're here on my page, drop a like, drop a comment, give me a follow on Instagram. Of course, as usual, I will tag all the bands below, so go check them out and show them some love. If you want to support me more directly, you can buy my album on Bandcamp, or you can go to my Ko-Fi page and throw me a couple bucks. Or show up and get a hot dog. This helps me afford my costs and keep making these sick ass videos for you, and now hopefully showing up with some fucking hot dogs. This has been the Thornwyld Field Report, and I will catch you next time, homies.